finishing up with Lew Rockwell, the last points he was making were about Afghanistan and Iraq, and we're about to be, we're running up on the 8th anniversary of the occupation of Afghanistan. We went in there in October, really cleaned things up pretty quickly, but now the insurgents are back, and that's the main focus, and we're redistributing forces from Iraq into Afghanistan. And meanwhile, in 2006, the Democrats were supposed to save us when they became the majority in the House, and they were going to get us out of the war, and Nancy Pelosi said, nope, and we're not going to go after war crimes either. And she's just a big figurehead for the whole party at this point and for the war. The Barack Obama administration comes in, and they backtrack on their plans. Oh, we'll be out in 18 months, we promise. Now he's officially saying, all combat troops will be out by the end of December 2011, but we're still going to have 50,000 non-combat troops in Iraq right around the time of an election year. Give me a break. I mean, talk about Orwellian speak. And then he says, we're going to shut down Guantanamo Bay. But it doesn't happen. They can't find the funding. Well, we just passed another bill for $83 billion for this war in the Middle East. They can't find the funding to close down Guantanamo Bay. I mean, where do you see the Middle East situation going in the next few months?
Well, I think it's very frightening, and I think Barack Obama is potentially more of a militarist and more of a warmonger than even George Bush, if only because he may feel he has to prove more because of what people thought might be his pro-peace agenda. I must say I was fooled early on. I thought maybe he was a guy who was actually going to be less belligerent, but of course it's not true. So yeah, the so-called insurgents are doing better in Afghanistan. And, who are these insurgents? These are Afghanis who don't like the idea of a bunch of foreigners occupying their country. Now, isn't that a crazy, wacko business that somebody might feel that way? So, of course, we're supposed to demonize and hate the guts of anybody who doesn't want to be ruled by the U.S. I don't want to be ruled by the U.S. I just assume see them out of this country, and I certainly don't want to see them attacking people in other countries. But they're stepping up the wars, and there's some very alarming rhetoric being used against Iran. If Iran wants an atomic bomb, and there's no evidence that they're doing anything to produce one, according to the International Atomic Energy Agency and all the people who inspect them, there's no evidence. If they want a bomb, why would they want a bomb? They would not want a bomb to bomb Israel or the U.S. or anybody else. They would want a bomb to protect themselves from being bombed. Because, of course, the U.S. and Israel are threatening them constantly. We're going to kill you. We're going to bomb you. This, by the way, against international law to threaten war like this against another country. Anyway, we're going to kill you. 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 And I guess there are a lot of people who actually want to kill everybody in Iran. This is a great ancient civilization. These are wonderful people. They're being demonized, as, of course, any people who the U.S. plans to mass murder always have to be demonized. They're great people. They never did anything to us. They never, they haven't hurt any neighbor for 1,000 years or whatever. So to be committing an act of aggression, we have to remember this is the first crime that was charged at the Nuremberg trials against Germany. The first international crime was launching an aggressive war. It is the Nuremberg trials felt this was the worst thing the Nazis did. Maybe it wasn't the worst thing, but it certainly made possible all the worst things that they did. The atmosphere of war and totalitarianism that comes with total war, the total state, and that seems to be the direction that we, the once the land of the free, are headed in. So I think it's very alarming that they may plan to bomb Iran and kill who knows how many people. This, by the way, is an act of murder. It doesn't matter that you're in a government uniform or that you're in a government house in Washington, D.C. If you push the button and kill people, you are a murderer.
I have to agree with you. You are a murderer if you're killing innocent people, if you're torturing people in these camps, as all the reports show. Thank you so much, Lew Rockwell. We'll be back after this. It's the Alex Jones Show.
The New World Order beast is genetically modifying your food, mixing vegetables with animals, and now experimenting with viruses. Without a long-term food solution, you will have just two options: starve, or surrender. All canned food supplies will eventually run out. What then? Grow your own healthy food and feed your family forever. SurvivalistSeeds.com is now the nation's largest bulk heirloom seed company, and it's owned by a real patriot, Big John Lipscomb. You can now have an infinite amount of healthy vegetables like a watermelon, a bundle of carrots, or tomatoes for a little more than a penny each. SurvivalistSeeds.com. And now you can go into business with Big John at SurvivalistSeeds.com by becoming an affiliate. See his link at SurvivalistSeeds.com.